Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Savvy Cast. Whether you're listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, I am so grateful that you're here today. I have a sweet friend and a very inspirational woman who is my guest today, Melanie Roberson. Melanie, hello, and thank you for being with me today.
Thank you for having me. I don't know about inspirational. I don't even know if I'm worthy to be here, but
oh my goodness, you are inspirational. And I want to just preface this because I know many of my friends already follow you, but you are known on Instagram by the handle Mel's Healthy Meals. And I'll link to all of that. But to everyone listening or watching, she is a must follow. Melanie is probably the healthiest eater and cook that makes things that I would want to eat. So I wish I lived next door because I'd be getting inspiration and just coming to join you at your table. But
I feel that way about you, Jamie. If I lived next to you, I would be coming over for all the grilling that you do and all the bacon that you do. I follow you as well as all of my followers follow you to get your tips. So it's a mutual love.
And before we start, I want you to tell me what you would choose as your last meal.
Okay, so my last meal, I was thinking about that. I grew up with going to my grandmother's home in the summers, and she was a gardener, and we always had fresh vegetables, and that's how we grew up. I don't know if you grew up that way.
Yeah, I sure did.
So, and being a Southerner, that's what we did. And so I developed my love for vegetables and fresh produce through my grandmother. And I guess probably my last meal, you're going to think this is crazy, but I also craved it when I was pregnant with my daughter. But squash, stewed squash and onions is a comfort food to me. It reminds me of my grandmother in the kitchen cooking. I'm going to have to say all vegetables, but squash is, I just have a love for squash.
Stewed squash. And can you make it like your grandmother?
I can try to cook like her, some of her recipes, but all her vegetables, vegetables are easy. You don't need a lot with fresh produce. Salt, pepper, and garlic, and a little oil, and it, everything's good.
You know what? And you're so right. And I think it's such a blessing for those of us who grew up with grandmothers who cooked. If you didn't have a mother or a grandmother who cooked, it's easy to just not learn those skills that make life so much better. Just learning how to grab veggies from a farmer's market or a grocery store and just go home and cook them without a recipe or a cookbook. And I want to talk about that because I just love following all of the things that you're making. But let me backpedal. You are a Mississippi girl. Tell us about just a little bit about yourself.
Oh my goodness, that's hard. I am a Mississippi girl, born and raised. My father was CEO of little hospitals growing up. So I have moved from small town to small town to small town.
Wow.
Growing up, but to make it seem more like home, we always built the same house. So isn't that neat? We built the same house everywhere we went. Family is a big part of my life. I have 2 children. They are both at Mississippi State. My husband's an oral and maxillofacial surgeon here in town, and I do a little bit of everything from community service work to active in my church. I work some at John's office. I'm just here and there and everywhere, and I love it. So not an exciting life, but a very happy life.
First of all, how did you become such a conscious eater, healthy?
I think everybody has a why. Everybody has a why of why they do it. For me, for 2 reasons. Of course, I gained the freshman 15. Big time. Couldn't button my pants to go home to see my parents. And I didn't like the way that felt, Jamie. It didn't feel good. Okay. So I had always been thin in high school, very active, head cheerleader, did all the things, got to college and started going through the buffet line and getting the dessert at every meal. Okay.
Yeah, I was with you.
Okay, so I gained the weight there, went home to see my parents, literally couldn't button my jeans, Walked through the door, and my dad said, "What have you done?" And I said, "Oh, I know. And literally, I honestly started exercising that weekend, just walking. I said, I've got to get this off. So that was one thing, one aha moment. So started really exercising then to get some weight off. And then my father was diagnosed with stage 4 esophageal cancer. He's healthy now in remission, but during that time, he was sick. He was very sick. And I watched him suffer a lot, going through treatments, feeding tubes, not being able to swallow, that kind of thing. And I just said to myself, I want to be healthy. I just want to be healthy. I want to do what I can to prevent cancer that runs in my family. High cholesterol runs in my family, big time. And I had high cholesterol when he was going through cancer. And so I said, you know what? I'm about to clean up my act. I want to know. I just started reading and researching what prevents cancer, how to be, all these things. And I had an addiction to sugar, and I knew that, like sweet are my weakness. If I eat a brownie, I'm going to want the ice cream to go on top, and I'm probably going to go back for two helpings. Okay. So I knew that trigger, and I started exercising, and I just really started trying to incorporate more vegetables, eating less bread, not want to be on cholesterol medicine. So I stopped eating fatty porks, bacon, started cleaning that up. And it was little by little. It wasn't just overnight. This is years of taking away a little bit here and learning a little bit there and that kind of thing.
So is your cholesterol now, is it down?
Perfection.
Then was it over 200?
Oh my goodness. It was in the 300s.
Was yours genetic or was yours dietary, or do you know?
Mine is, I don't know that about mine. I just know that I went to the doctor and he said, we're going to put you on blood pressure med. God, I keep getting that confused. Yeah. Cholesterol.
Yes.
Yeah, I said, you know what? Let me try to control this with my diet. And he said, okay. He said, come back in so many weeks.
Yeah.
So I literally started then. No bacon, no red meat, no, more fiber, more plants. And went back in my numbers, my blood work. He said my good cholesterol was so amazing that it outweighed the bad. So it levels, it's an even playing. So I'm good.
That's amazing. Take me through the grocery store and your skin.
Okay. First of all, we're going to go through our pantry and we're going to clean it out. Okay. We're not going to have Cheez-Its, processed foods. We're not going to go there. Okay. And if you're going to have it, like I have a section in my pantry where my kids can go and get their Doritos and junk if they want it. Okay.
Yeah.
But mine section does not have that. Okay. And I don't go there. So you clean out your pantry and you get rid of processed foods. That's the number one thing. And then you shop the produce aisles. Just make sure that you have your refrigerator well stocked with greens and fruits and vegetables. And so what you do, when you're shopping, you make sure your home's supplied with all these good foods, and you go to those. When it's snack time, grab an apple over the Cheez-Its. Grab a boiled egg over the chocolate brownie or cookie that's in your pantry.
Right.
Okay? So when you have these available, just make yourself in the mindset, train yourself, I need to eat good food. And over time, you will crave those foods and you'll go to the grocery store yourself with your buggy and you can't wait to get to the produce aisle to get the vegetables. But if I'm at the grocery store, okay, so I'm first at the produce section, and that's just, I can't get enough. It's everything. Yeah. I love it all. Yeah. And I'm on the outskirts. I'm coming around to the dairy. So yes, I'm going to get my oat milk that I drink or my almond milk. Love that. I have my meat. I get all my organic meat from Butcher Box. So it comes shipped on dry ice to my front door. And I have it timed where I get a shipment every 4 weeks and I know exactly, it stays stocked. I don't run out and I don't have excess. So every individual family has to kind of judge that, balance that, how much they need. I am not a big meat or chicken eater. I do eat it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my go-to. I told you I don't eat red meat.
Mm-hmm.
I had my fish shipped in from Vital Choice or Sizzlefish. I am in love with Sizzlefish because they come. You can pick the cuts that you want, or the fresh wild caught that you want. Any of your favorites, you pick, and they come. Frozen in 4-ounce fillets. And you know how fast a 4-ounce fillet unthaws?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The cold water method, 20 minutes.
So those unthaw rapidly. Like you can unthaw that 2 hours before, you're ready to cook. And you've got a 5-star meal, gourmet meal right there in a quick time.
Okay, I'm going to link to, and if you've got any kind of codes for any of this, give those to us. But I'm going to link to that. Now, what is Vital Choice and how is that different?
It's the same thing.
It's the same.
Some people like Vital Choice more than Sizzlefish for whatever reason. I like both. Right now, I'm doing Sizzlefish. I think they sent me a coupon, so I'm doing Sizzlefish.
Okay.
It's a monthly thing, just like Butcher Box. It comes dry ice shipped to my front door, and I just take it straight to my freezer.
Anything else that you get at the grocery?
Oh yes, like my grains, nuts, quinoa, oatmeal. Of course, all my spices.
Mm-hmm.
And I snack like I love those those Siete chips. You know what I'm talking about? That brand, those grain-free brand chips. I also shop from Thrive Market.
I hear a lot about that. What do you like about that? What do you order?
Again, prices. I love their prices. Okay, so for their dressing, I love Tessie Mae's salad dressings. Like my salad dressing, I priced the other day at my local market here was like $8 for a bottle, and it's $5.30 at Thrive Market.
And it's Tessie Mae's.
Tessie Mae's is a brand that I love. I love all Primal Kitchen.
Yes, I love Primal Kitchen.
Their buffalo jalapeno, their buffalo sauce is amazing.
What is your favorite healthy sweet? How do you satisfy your sweet tooth?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. I do it every day, pretty much every day. I keep dark chocolate. I get this from Thrive Market too. Their price is great. Lily's dark chocolate bars, but get the darkest. You want the darkest amount of chocolate, okay? Because that's filled with antioxidants. That's good things, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
So I get those, and I crave those, and I don't eat the whole bar, okay? You just get a couple little pieces off of it, and I'll dip it into some Santa Cruz peanut butter. Have you ever had Santa Cruz peanut butter?
No. Now tell me about that. Is it just a healthier peanut butter?
Santa Cruz, I get that from Thrive Market. It's all peanut butter, no sugar, no additives. It's just peanut butter, but the consistency and the flavor is amazing for Santa Cruz.
Oh,
I don't know what it is about it, but I also like Trader Joe's peanut butter. But I'll get a little bit of that peanut butter, and that's a treat for me. Also, a treat for me is I love ice cream, but I keep Rebel. Like today, I was out of chocolate, my chocolate bar, so I had Rebel, just like a fourth a cup.
Yeah.
And I sprinkled some Lily's chocolate chips on top of it.
Do you have any vegetable or something that you think most people probably turn their noses up, but that you want to just say, y'all, it's really good?
Yes, I do. Beets. Do you like roasted beets?
That is one that I would now say. I did not like beets until I learned to roast them.
Roasted beets are phenomenal. You're right. You have to roast those, but you also have to pair it with a blue cheese or a goat cheese and a slice of orange and an almond and a salad. And it just makes it mouth-watering into your mouth. You got to, when you stick your fork into that beet, you need to have a mandarin orange on it, a piece of goat cheese and a walnut on it.
I had no idea. So you do it more in a salad.
I do. Mm-hmm. Okay. Another thing that I love that you would never think would be good, turnip roots.
Tell me what you do with those.
Okay. Wash those turnip roots. You're going to slice them in little slices, and you're going to use them as a chip with your hummus. Okay. You've got to try it.
What do they taste like, Melanie?
Just good, crisp and light and cold, and just really, really refreshing to me.
Okay.
And also do radishes like that, raw radishes and raw turnip roots. Don't dismiss a turnip root. Now, and let me ask you if you've ever cooked this. Jamie, you need to do this. You need to do this and post this, okay?
Okay.
You're so cute. Oh, make your turnip greens, like your turnip greens are the bomb. Uh-huh. And put turnip roots in there. Just throw sliced turnip roots in there, cube them, or cube a rutabaga. I will cube those, peel it, because it's a tough peeling, and I will cube it, and I will literally boil it in some chicken broth with a little bit. One of my favorite seasonings is Better Than Bouillon chicken.
Yes.
Okay. So a tablespoon of that, just in that boiling water, and literally salt and pepper and garlic and a little bit of olive oil. I like add a little bit of olive oil in a lot of things. It just makes it, I don't know.
Oh, sure.
And so that's it until they're tender, and they're so, so good.
So you chop and boil rutabagas, and you slice and eat turnip roots raw with like hummus.
Yes.
Okay. I'm learning so much from you. You're fabulous. And again, everyone follow Mel's Healthy Meals because, okay, now, Melanie, what amazes me about you outside of your cooking is your level of commitment to fitness and to exercise. Tell us your regimen. And I want you to help me because, and I told Zane yesterday, I said, I'm having Melanie on and I'm so excited because I just got a Peloton and I'm
jealous.
I hate it because I can barely go 20 minutes and I'm like, why don't I love it? And I want you to inspire me to stick with it and to push through things that aren't easy. So inspire us to do it until we want to do it.
Here's what I want to say about exercise, okay? Going back. I started I just started walking. Okay. I think everybody needs to exercise for health reasons, for bone density. Do you know bone density? You strengthen your bones through exercise.
Yes.
Okay? There's so many health reasons, endorphins that it releases when we exercise. That's feel good hormones. We need these. It helps promote sleep. I mean, there's a host of benefits we know that exercise. Mm-hmm. And so if you're not in that place where you love it just yet, that's okay. That is okay. But start something and keep showing up. Make yourself committed. Say, you know what, Jamie's going to be committed for 6 weeks. Set a time and a day where you're going to exercise. If it's every day, that's great. If it's only, you know what, I'm going to start Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:00.
Yeah.
That's my exercise time, and nothing's going to get in that way. Mm-hmm. That is your space and your time to be healthy. Stay committed to it. Because after you're committed and you keep doing it, guess what? You're going to start seeing the benefits and feeling the benefits, and then you'll want to go there. It's the same time. You have to commit it to the same time every day. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. You have to walk before you run. Okay? I didn't start out running. I started walking. That was it. My love for exercise started by walking.
Yeah.
It was step by step by step by step that leads you to different pathways. Exercise takes you on this beautiful journey if you will just allow it and let it to open doors. There's so many things to do. You got to find things that you love, that you're passionate about.
Do you exercise every day, 5 days a week?
You know what? I didn't start out exercising every day. Again, it was 3 days a week. Then it went to 4 days a week, and then it went to 5 days a week. It just developed over a lot of time.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you about this. And Zane came home he had this big meeting somewhere in New York. And he came back saying, Jamie, all these clients of mine are doing something called 75 hard. I said, I know one person doing 75 hard, and it's Melanie Roberson.
That's so funny.
What on earth? First of all, tell everyone what it is and how and why you started it.
Okay, 75 hard is. It's all over social media. I mean, it just seemed like everywhere I look, friends of mine were doing it, or people I was following on Instagram, 75 hard. So my curiosity was like, what is this? What is this? So of course I Googled it, 75 hard. And it's the creator is Andy Frazella. I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's just this author and national speaker, motivational speaker. And he believes in coaching people to be more self-disciplined. Okay. And most people think that it is a fitness program. Okay. But what it is, you commit to 75 days of these 5 habits. And I'm going to tell you what they are. You are to exercise 2 times a day, 45 minutes each time. One of those has to be outdoors. Okay. That's one thing.
Okay.
The next thing you have to do is you have to read 10 pages of a self-help book. And when you start that book, you can't put it down and go to a different book. You have to finish the book that you start. Okay. Next thing is you have to drink a gallon of water a day. The 4th thing is no alcohol for 75 days. The next thing is you have to take progress pictures of your body. And even though it's not a fitness challenge, you start seeing results from the no alcohol and the exercising twice a day. So you have to take progress photos. And then the last thing is you have to follow a diet. He doesn't tell you what diet, but I mean, not to go and eat Big Macs and fries and that kind of thing. I follow a clean kitchen diet, which is based whole foods. And like I said earlier, I'm 20% lifestyle. So yes, I have a piece of cake on the weekends, but I don't have it every day. I don't want it every day.
What day are you on?
I am on day 69. And why I did it, I was curious about it. But the crazy thing is, one of the reasons I did it, I love self-discipline too. And I did not think I could do it. So when I read all those habits, I was like, easy. I probably won't be able to do this, but let me just see. And so I was laughing with my husband. I said, John, do it with me. He's like, absolutely no way. I'm not going without a bourbon on the weekends. And we're not big drinkers at all. We are not. But we, on the weekends, we'll have wine with our meals, or socially at a wedding or something, I'll have a vodka tonic, that kind of thing. But we are not big drinkers.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, I wanted to self-discipline to say, you know what, can you go 75 days without alcohol? Can you finish a book that you started? One of those books was The Road Back to You that you had recommended. So I finished that book, but I have absolutely loved the no alcohol. It's just been freeing going into a social setting, and typically I'd go straight to the bar with a friend. Let's go grab a glass of wine, and you're drinking and social and having your wine, and that's wonderful, and that's fine if you don't overdo it. But I've liked not doing that. I've liked going to the bar and say I'll have a club soda with a twist of lemon and lime, and I like talking to people without even having alcohol. My husband, the funny thing is, we went on vacation, and he was like, he had a case of our favorite wine shipped from Napa Valley because they don't ship to Mississippi. So he had it shipped to Florida. So it comes, UPS brings this case of wine, and my favorite wine too. And I went without it. And I did fine. And I was like, this is great. I don't need it, you know?
So that was not the hardest. So that was one of the easiest, is to give up the alcohol. What was the hardest?
The hardest thing, this sounds so crazy, is the reading. I am a reader, but on a self-help, I'm not necessarily that. And I'll go to sleep. Like if I sit still, I will go to sleep. So there have been many nights I've been so busy and I go, oh, I forgot to read. And I pick up the book. I'm like, ugh, and I feel like I'm going to sleep. That's been challenging. Getting 2 workouts in. Oh, I'll tell you what I've loved. I've loved going on sunset walks with my dog. And I'll probably continue doing that, because your second workout, it doesn't have to be CrossFit. It can just be going on a leisurely walk with your friend, or doing our dog, or doing yoga outdoors. I've been doing that. Yeah, but that's been challenging because it's rained a couple of times, but it was cool to go for a run in the rain.
Is the water hard? Is it hard to drink a gallon a day?
I thought that was going to be, that there was no way I could do that. And now I have that timed. It's not. And I'll continue that.
You will?
Yes.
What changes have you seen in your body or in your clarity, your mental? Like, what's the biggest change you've seen?
Way more energy. I have loved finishing that book that I always wanted to read, The Road Back to You. Now I know everybody's Enneagrams in my family. That's been fun.
Yeah.
Change. I've probably lost 2 pounds, but I didn't do it to lose weight. I don't want to lose weight.
Yeah.
I have seen some more definition in my mid area, which is good. And I attribute that to the no alcohol. I've always heard that going without alcohol will help your midsection as you age.
Are you going to keep to the 75? Or are you going to?
No. I always pick up little pearls for things that I do. And I will I'll continue drinking that water, or strive to.
Yeah.
I will go on more sunset walks. That has been a beautiful, peaceful time at night that I had not been doing. And I know my dog needs to exercise, so that's been good. I hope I continue that. Those are 2 things that I know that I hope I will continue when it's over. But no, I'm not going to keep that, I'm not going to do that.
I would love to see if I could do it. I think I would have to have a friend. Did you have someone that did it with you, or just people on Instagram that in the group?
I got an app, and you do your check off. Like you check all your habits each day.
Okay.
And you have it.
Anybody with you that you live, that as a friend or family member, or that anybody?
Yeah, I've got several friends at the gym that are doing it. It's always fun to do it with a friend.
Yeah.
And some people have had to quit for various reasons, sickness, or just couldn't get a habit in. If you miss a habit, you are supposed to start back over to square one. And so I will say, one day I did miss reading some of my book. I did not get my 10 pages in. And it asks you on the app, do you want to keep going? And I did keep going, but under his guidelines, I was supposed to start to the beginning, but I didn't.
Now, I want to ask you, as we round this out, but you are a woman of God, you're a Christ follower, and you're very devoted to worship and Bible study. What's your favorite way to feed your soul, and to stay close to God?
My favorite thing, and this really, empty nesting, I thought was going to be just awful. I just didn't know how I was going to endure empty nesting. I've always been a mom, hands-on, cooking for my children and having their friends over, and, all the things that you do with your kids. And, John and I, now we wake up every morning together, and we set aside time on our back porch to have worship time together, like a 20-minute to 30-minute worship time together. And then he leaves to go for work, and then I'll have my own quiet time, before I get my day going. And that, to me, has made the biggest difference in my life and my closeness with the Lord, and just working toward that and setting aside that time every day. Another thing like exercise. Yes, I make it a point to seek ye first. I like books. I did this by myself, and I think I recommend it to you. Can you see this 40 Days of Prayer? I did this book by myself right when I became an empty nester.
Mm-hmm.
And this book, unbelievable. Some of the things that transpired during this time with me reading this book and following this book. I was just so blessed by it. But the time that I set aside every morning when I was mourning my children not being home, I was like, okay, Lord, I got to have you. I just show me your way. Show me what am I supposed to do now? And so setting aside that time every morning with me and God, and just praying and letting it all out and letting him feed my soul, that was just huge in my life. And then John and I, then we started doing it together, and now we look forward to that every single day. Like, that is like sacred time. I can't wait to get up and have my coffee with him and talk to him. That's so important in our marriage too, just to communicate, about, not only do we talk about whatever we did Jesus Calling some morning, whatever we're talking about, scripture, whatever. Then we also talk about life and problems and things that we're facing that day. And we'll pray about those together, or pray about our children's, whatever they're facing. It's time together so that we are aware of each other's needs. And
wow, that's great that y'all do that together. That
has been a big blessing for both of us.
Okay, of course, I want everyone to follow you on Instagram. What else are they going to get? Let's see. They're going to get great recipes, get great fitness tips. I'm going to link to everything you recommended. You are an entrepreneur.
I do savvy just because I live in workout clothes, and savvy is just a fitness clothing and apparel. And I love it because I live in it. So that's been fun. I'm more customer based. I do a lot, I have some customers that buy from me for that, and I'll recommend certain pieces. So that's fun.
You will send me all of these links, and I'm going to be looking for more of your recipes. I'm actually going to go to the grocery today or tomorrow and get rutabagas and turnips. I am motivated. I can't wait, and I'll let you know how they turn out. Melanie, thank you so much for taking time to just share what you do and how you live. You are truly an inspiration to me, and I'm sure that others who listen or watch will feel the same. So
thank you, Jamie. I love my time with you and talking to you and seeing your pretty face. Tell me one thing before we get off. Tell me that lip color, but I want to know the lip color that you wore to the wedding when you had that pink dress on a couple of weeks. I want to know both those. What is that?
Okay. The lipstick is NARS Sexual Healing. Where do they get these names for these lipsticks? And this is my favorite, Buxom White Russian. There is a cream and a gloss. I always get the cream, and it's just a real nude. So that's what I had.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, I'm going to get off and go get those. I'm going to get online and get those lipsticks. Okay. Thank you for having me, Jamie. I can't wait to see you face to face and hug you.
Same here, my friend. You take care.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.